we wanted to analyze how different experiences impact a man's view on masculinity. In order to do this, we interviewed a multitude of men, and here are their stories. To start off, we asked them, how does society define masculinity?
Giving more opportunities to men, kind of putting men on a pedestal.
No, a man is a man and a woman is a woman.
One way or the other.
Like, men wear the pants.
You're either toxic or
telling women what to do.
I feel like a lot of masculinity is like, oh, I need to pay the bills, and like
power, providing for the family.
Strength.
Very like hard hat, go to work, do the job.
Just providers.
Take charge, you're in charge of everything.
There's supposed to be a strong, singular entity that takes care of everything.
super macho and manly.
Strong, confident, assertive type of person.
Like silent, you know, and
You're the man type guy.
shouldn't have like problems or issues.
Moving on from broad definitions, how do you define masculinity?
Really, like true masculinity for me is courage. And I think if you have an issue, it's more strong to find a solution for it than to just deal with it. You know what I mean?
And so masculinity doesn't mean a whole lot to me personally, even though I'm a trans man. The fact that I'm not a stereotypical man and that I look a little bit different than most men and that I can be feminine, wear makeup, and still be a man.
The way I view it for myself, I don't necessarily have a defined area. Yeah, I don't really like labeling aspects of life as being either masculine or feminine. As a father, I'd like to think that I'm the one that my children would look up to when they need protection or safety.
Masculinity to me means just like being who I'm meant to be, being confident, taking charge, doing what you're supposed to do, certain traits like courage and leadership and kind of stuff like that for sure. Like I want to be the guy to provide for my family, be a good husband, be a good brother, you know, everything like that. So
I don't fit into a box, and at times it can get kind of confusing because I'm like, well, what am I? But other times I'm like, I don't even know. Why do you need to know? I always make a joke to my friends. I'm like, I want to be pretty like how boys are pretty.
I mean, for a long time when I wanted to transition, I thought that I had to be stereotypically masculine for people to perceive me as a man. You know, I can't wear any more crop top, I can't wear makeup anymore, my hair has to be short, I have to conform to what society's idea of a man is.
Even getting dressed this morning, I was like, okay, I gotta wear like a button up of some sort and like my most masculine outfit. My roommate's like, you don't have to wear like a masculine outfit to be masculine. Like, no, but I want to feel more masculine. Not only does it make me feel more masculine, it makes me feel more confident. So like for me, I correlate masculinity to confidence.
When it comes to your career choice, did the ratio of men to women make an impact?
There's very, very few men in my major, and I have never met a special ed teacher who's a male. A lot of men I feel intimidated by because I feel like, you know, they think that I'm not a real man. They just like don't take me seriously or are weirded out by me. I have felt less judged by women historically, so I honestly was perfectly fine with being in a major of mostly women.
In the classroom, I walk in and it is full of men. If you are not a cis man, you are the minority. If you are not a cis white man, you are the minority. Oh, it discourages students hard. I have met a good handful of people that like, I could never do STEM purely for the fact that they don't have A, representation, or B, support. So I had a friend who dropped out of a STEM major because he is a trans man. He was in the class, nobody wanted to talk to him. And so he dropped out because he couldn't find anybody to work with. They were like constantly harassing him and like making his life a living hell, basically. I don't see anybody that presents the same way as I do. I've had to correct so many people constantly about like what my pronouns are. I think of it as I'm carving a path for somebody else, or at least I hope I am.
What is your view on Greek life?
I think Greek life has a very good view of masculinity. I think it teaches us like through pledship and stuff, just like how to overcome obstacles, how to be a better person, and you know how to get along with people, meet new people, communicate, just get through everything. So I think it has a good view of it. I think it definitely encourages like kids like me, like who have grown up like that and have certain views. But I also think it discourages kids who like don't have those views or don't think the same as me. So I think it encourages a lot of the same people to join it, but doesn't get a lot of diversity that way.
military career, what was the ratio of women to men?
100% male. No females at all. Just guys. For pretty much my whole time when I got onto the submarine. So my training school, we actually had just let the first female submariners start going through school. For the older boats, they don't have enough space to like provide privacy for both genders. The Navy wants a separate female berthing, male berthing, female bathroom, male bathrooms, and just the size restrictions prevent that, so you can only pick one. And historically, it's been male in the submarine force.
So within my unit in the Army, we had a few more women than most other units, like that were infantry. We had about 6 or 7 women just in my unit alone to the other 40 men. Being in the Air Force, everywhere I go though, there seems to be a lot more women in multiple different jobs. It's not as sporadic as it was in the Army.
How can this experience impact a soldier's transition into the real world?
When you go in, you're 18 years old, and you're legally an adult, but you haven't had any experience in the adult world, so you grow up in that environment where it's valor, sacrifice, a lot of toxic traits too, but that kind of follows you when you get out because it's the only thing you've ever known.
I think coming out of the Army, it changes the way a lot of guys view things depending on what job they were in. Some of them were almost never around women, so getting back into the civilian life, I could see as a bit of an awkward change. Here in the Air Force, it's everywhere you go, so there's not too much of a change.
Okay, male, you can do this. Females, you have these options, you know, and like, it's more about just how you work in the system, you know, it's not really about your personal traits, whereas like now when I'm in the civilian world, it feels like there's no stopping between male and female genders. It's just about what can you do, what is your abilities, what's your resume look like, you know. Gender isn't something that can prevent you from doing something or going somewhere. It's just a part of you. It just makes you you.
How has your disability impacted your transition?
It made it a lot more difficult to access gender-affirming health care and hormone replacement therapy because of my disability and worries about how it's going to affect my health and things like that. So there was a delay in me getting gender-affirming care because I'm disabled. It's also affected, honestly, my understanding of gender. I am autistic, and so a lot of autistic people kind of have a hard time understanding gender norms and things like that because we have a hard time understanding social norms. So I would say, yes, my disability has impacted my understanding of my gender and my masculinity for sure.
How did becoming a father change your views?
Becoming a father didn't really change too much on the way I view masculinity or femininity. I've never really placed them in a certain area. So raising my kids, I haven't tried forcing them into a role. I want my children to be able to look up to me when they need advice on something their mother wouldn't be able to provide them.
We hope these 5 perspectives gave you as much insight to masculinity as it did for us. Thank you to our volunteers.
I was like, what's my like final tagline?
Yeah.
Come learn with me. I'm looking you dead in the eyes. Come learn with me.
Oh, Kevin, go away.